Welcome to the Yo-11 podcast. Yo-11 podcast, mostly Vegas, no BS, casino experience, and more. Michael Trager is a casino and travel loyalty expert who also helps people turn their travel dreams into travel realities. And now your host, Michael Trager. How's it going, Michael?
It is going very well. Just a little bit more travel than I like right now because I was in Vegas. Did you know I was in Vegas?
Yeah, I had a feeling because we were both there hanging out together. You're both here hanging out together.
And then I went to New York for a really cool Hyatt event. And now I'm briefly back in Palm Beach and I'm flying to Washington, D.C. in a couple hours. So just just a lot of stuff going on. But actually, I'm staying at a really cool hotel in Washington, D.C., which is a Conrad Washington,
Mhm.
D.C., which has one of the most amazing VIP lounges in the country, maybe in the world, called the Sakura Lounge.
Wow.
So I think that's really cool. And I've been meaning to stay there for years. I have a lot of clients I've booked there. It's one of the best Conrads in the world, really special property. But this lounge, and it's a lounge that's not a regular Hilton executive lounge. So it's a lounge in which you have to buy a room that includes Sakura Lounge access, or you have to pay for the lounge access. You can't get the lounge access complimentary.
Interesting. So you say it's one of the best lounges in the country, if not the world. Would you? Does I'm perplexed here. Does this mean that it's better than the lounge at Wynn?
There is. You mean the Black Card Lounge at Wynn and at Encore Boston Harbor?
Any Wynn, Las Vegas or
Yes,
on Boston
yes,
Harbor.
it's better than that. And actually, I hear they do like really like cool food presentations and things like that. And they have different dinner menus. And guess what tonight is? And they serve dinner in the lounge, which is included with lounge access, until 9:30 p.m.
Wow.
So we'll just get there in time for the lounge, unless our flight gets slightly more delayed than it currently is from PBI to DCA. But it's interesting. It seems like it's a really interesting variety of things that they do. So tonight is Mediterranean night, and they actually sent me the menu for the lounge. Is that bougie or what?
That is bougie. Yes.
They have beef stew with pimento and piquillo peppers, roasted carrots and wine sauce, roasted
Ooh.
brava chicken with smoked paprika, potatoes
Ooh.
bravas, and baked eggplant. They also have, check out this shit, a paella station with fresh vegetables and shrimp, pickled saffron broth, fresh herbs, and garlic aioli. So this tonight is the Mediterranean night. Oh, and they also have some starters. They have greens, potato salad, charcuterie, tabbouleh, and a anti pasta. So this lounge like has a complete fancy menu. Check that out. Whoa. Can you check that out?
Whoa.
I think you're checking that out. Yeah. Check out my iPhone. Whoa.
Whoa.
Uh, so that's cool. And then other nights they have different menus. So like tomorrow night is the barbecue menu. And then Saturday night they have an Asian menu. Crispy beef, citron orange chicken, vegan Japanese curry, and a bao bun station. Tomorrow night they have a carving station with slow cooked smoked brisket and ribs. And tonight's the paella station. So I'd say that sounds like a pretty fucking good lounge.
It does. It does. When
Uh,
you said paella, I couldn't help but think of that Seinfeld episode with George's mom, where she's like, "What am I supposed to do with all this paella?" I don't know why, but it just jumped into my head.
yeah, Seinfeld does often jump into your head. So I'm pretty excited about that. I just had a nice time in New York. I went to the opera in New York. Did you know I went to the opera in New York? Did you know?
Yes, I did.
Did you
Yes, I
know
did.
I went to
Yep.
La Boheme and had dinner beforehand with my dad, and my dad was so happy. He did really well. The opera did not end until after 11 o'clock at night. Those intermissions are long.
Wow.
I've it was a long performance, and I did finally doze off at the and in the final act as Mimi was dying of tuberculosis. Uh, I dozed off. I woke up and she was still dying. It's a very long death scene.
Oh my
Uh,
goodness.
you know how opera is, right? I know. I dozed off and Mimi was still dying. If you know the Lamo M story. You know what's also interesting about the Metropolitan Opera? Did you know that they have live animals in their productions?
I had no idea about that.
This is a really, really big, fantastical production of La Boheme. And they had like a donkey and a dog and all that kind of stuff on stage. Is that cool or what?
Oh, that's
Like,
awesome.
because it's supposed to be like France in like the 1800s or 1900s. Yeah. So, I thought that was really cool. It was extremely impressive. It was a very, very full house, and the music was spectacular, and it was a great performance. And you can do dinner at the Metropolitan Opera. There's a restaurant called the Grand Tier Restaurant. Guess what tier it's on? Grand Tier. And you can do dinner there beforehand, and then you can go to your seats afterwards. So it's super convenient, and it was a really enjoyable night. And here I am. And I think we're about to talk about another really enjoyable night at Wynn Las Vegas.
That we are. Before that, we do have a quick news story. I didn't make it fancy because I just didn't have the time. However, Penn
Mhm.
and Teller got a court named after them, not a court building, but a street court, that kind of a court, um, in honor of their 25 years at Rio, Las Vegas. What is formerly known as Viking Court is now known as Penn and Teller Court. It's right there by the Rio. Even though they've had 25 years at Rio, they have been performing together for actually 50 years. That's the news. Dun 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 dun
Wow.
dun dun. Nothing much else.
Well, some other news. Did you hear that Fontainebleau is offering free parking to Vegas locals? Did you hear that
No,
news?
I did not. Now, I might have to go back there and walk around a bit. It's been a minute. Um,
Okay. Also,
all
their
right.
room rates have been really super nifty lately. Their comps have been really super nifty lately.
Hmm.
Also, I don't know if you heard a G2E, that the MGM boss man says Las Vegas's future is bright. But during a gaming executive Q&A at the Global Gaming Expo inside Venetian Expo Center, Hornbuckle took the opportunity to remind the packed ballroom that 2024 was among the strongest in recent memory, with marquee events such as Super Bowl 58 and the F1 Las Vegas Grand Prix helping propel strip casinos to their second highest grossing year in history. I think part of this is the like backlash of like Vegas is hurting, Vegas is dying, Vegas isn't busy. I don't know, all those derivatives of that. And everyone's saying, oh, no, everything's okay. It's a little bit, things were a little slower over the summer, but they're always slow during the summer. So anyway, I'm not going to judge. I'm not going to talk opinion on that right now. But they are saying that strip room rates have seemed to be remaining pretty low in October, according to analysts. Though I was just in Vegas and it seemed pretty darn busy to me. And I guess we should also make mention of all of the incredible work that you did, Michael, with helping with the memorial for 360 Vegas for Mark. And I have to say that memorial was just this past Saturday evening, and it was really touching and went really well. And I know you probably have a few impressions from that, but my overall thing is it couldn't have gone better.
Oh yeah, dude, and yours as well. I mean, you provided the room and the bar at the back. I you have but it was no, but it was of course
And the sliders.
it went really well. Everyone got together to remember Mark. Um, oh yeah, the sliders too. And the video. I just got done editing the video for that, which has all the speeches, and um, the 360 gang are gonna be um, releasing it to the public. I believe sometime this weekend. So we'll see about that. It's gonna happen soon. But yeah, man, it went well. Between the bar, the burgers, the venue itself, the people, and my tech know-how. Yeah, everything went fantastically. Anyone who went up to speak had very thoughtful, meaningful, and funny things to say. Yeah, it went off as good as you would expect a celebration of life to go.
And we definitely reached the bar minimum.
Oh yeah, yeah. They had to order.
Times multiples of.
Tell the
So,
story about the glassware.
oh yeah, when the bartenders it was a cash bar, but we had a minimum we needed to cover, and everyone was so gracious to drink heavily and to cover the cash bar. And when we first got there, I was worried about glassware and how much glassware there was. And they showed me how many like martini glasses and other things. And they're like, oh, this is going to be more than enough. They're like, people don't usually drink that much. This should be fine. Everything here. And I'm like, you don't understand this crowd. You just totally don't understand this crowd. Like, you're going to need more martini glasses and more glassware. And the bartender's like, okay. And he sent one of the runners to get it. See the bartender about an hour and a half later or an hour into the program or whatever. And I said, and he says, wow. You were right. These people really drink. So that was pretty interesting. And then before we get to the tease for today, because we're teasing something specific, I wanted to thank Movestro for all of his hard work. And also Movestro and I very much love doing something different and something special when we're in Las Vegas when I'm in. And this was a very abbreviated trip because I was leaving on Sunday. So I made a dinner reservation for, what was it, 11 o'clock, right? Was it 11? Did I really make a dinner reservation for 11 o'clock at night at Delilah? For those who are unfamiliar, Delilah is would you call it supper club at Wynn Las Vegas? It is an absolutely gorgeous space. It used to be the space of Alex, which was a Michelin 2-star restaurant, the Alex Strada restaurant. It's on the south side of Wynn, near Wynn Tower Suites, right next to Wing Lei. Anyway, we had 11 o'clock dinner reservation. I thought we were going to be dining at the bar because I didn't make the reservation too far in advance. But instead, they super duper VIP'd us, and they gave us, I would say, one of the best tables in the house. Would you say that was a really good table?
It was a great table.
Right by the stage. It was a great. And your impression going in there. So we did a wine masterclass there during the day. But Delilah during the day is it's still a beautiful space, but totally looks different during the day because it's really a nightclub. It's really a club. And I think the first thing you said was like, it seemed like Great Gatsby.
Yeah, it looked like it was something out of the Great Gatsby. Like when we walked in, the band is playing, the crowd is, the way everything was set up. I was like, man, this is like something out of the Great Gatsby. This is crazy. Yeah, this is awesome. So yeah, that's what it reminded me of.
Yeah, and they have a pretty strict no cell phone policy, no picture policy, which is actually fine, and which is great. And we just sort of sat there. The music was really good, right? The performers were great. I don't know, and they had like different like showgirl kind of. How do you call that? Like different performers who wandered around a little bit, but it was mostly like what I would consider like exactly the kind of thing that you would have seen in like a Vegas lounge in like 1965. Or something like that. It was like sort of like lounge music, but with like a full band and lots of like there were like saxophones and other instruments, and they were moving around a little bit and stuff like that. And they did some interesting music. You would remember the music mixes too, but they did some like traditional things and more modern things sort of mixed up, but with instruments, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, they did like jazz versions of songs that you wouldn't expect to hear a jazz version of. It was really good. It was really creative, really good. Actual real musicians. Totally good stuff for sure. I'll definitely go back. Absolutely.
Yeah, it was great. And the food was great. They have a late night menu, and I thought the food was super great. Did you had a cocktail first, and I had one cocktail first too. I had like some kind of vodka, one of their like vodka olive martini, like dirty martini, similar kind of thing. But you had another drink. What did you have again?
It was called the Glow Up. I don't remember what was in it, but it was good.
It was good. And we ordered and their chicken tenders were great.
Yeah, and we got shrimp cocktails because I was sort of deciding what to order.
Big shrimp.
Huge shrimp. My goodness, they were huge. Big shrimp. And what was funny because I was still deciding what to order, and when you order the shrimp cocktail, I was like, that is just so fitting for a place like this. That feels like it's of that generation. You know what I mean? Where the shrimp cocktail in Vegas was a big deal, 99 cents at the time. And I was just like, yeah, that's it. Shrimp cocktail. And we did that. The shrimp. Wow. Huge shrimp. Jeez.
Yeah. So we had like little bites of everything. The shoestring potatoes were good. We didn't have the pigs in the blanket. We had the Wagyu steak bites too. I think we had a little bit of that, but we had like a very small amount of everything. It was just really pretty perfect, wasn't it? And I think we grabbed a dessert, and I know I had an espresso, but it was we had champagne too. Like that was
Yeah.
I called champagne as the second cocktail because the bottle of champagne was a much better value than the cocktails or that. Right, we got a bottle of Vouv, if I remember correctly, but it was really really nice, and we should have been super tired and ready to go to sleep, but then onward with teas.
Bally's Corporation
Whoops.
announced plans for Bally's Las Vegas set to
Jesus.
rise at the
Where's the
former site.
button?
So our tease afterwards was because we're a whore for using status comps, was we decided to I've always wanted to take Movestro to XS because you like clubs. You just are overwhelmed by them sometimes. Is that a good way to say it?
Yeah, that's really a good way. I like the idea of the club. I like the music that's played usually, especially if it's someone's performing that I'm well aware of. Like on the night we went, it was kind of hard to say no because it was Chainsmokers. But yeah, and but sometimes just the being all up in the faces of strangers and getting groped ain't really my thing. So, but then you showed me XS.
And then I showed you XS, and we were able to use the VIP line, and Wynn Rewards Black gives you free admission, even for men, which saves you oodles of, what was it, about $75 for men to get in, or was it $125? They have like all different, I think 75 for women and 125 for men, or 100. They're always changing the price, so it's impossible to know what it is, depending on the night and if they think it's capacity. So we got our comp entrance, and that was really quick, right? And we got right inside. And since I know my way around XS pretty well, I knew where to take Movestro right away so that it wouldn't be that overwhelming scene. And that was basically to get outside. But before we went outside, we took a quick stop at the bar and we got some Belvederes and sodas, right? And that was pretty good. And one of the things that I like to point out, a couple of things which are cool about XS is, remember, XS is a nightclub that is fully owned by Wynn Las Vegas and fully controlled by Wynn Las Vegas. This also means that you can charge drinks to your room folio and get them comped off if you wanted to. But on top of that, they're super fair with the price of drinks. I think you have a slide with a drink price. You see, now I'm hitting you like, can you find that slide? There you go. And look at that. And how much are those drinks, Movestro? 3 drinks. It's Vital Vegas's favorite number.
Yep, 69. That's his favorite number.
69. Now, the one thing I don't notice, you notice the price. So what do you think of this as far as the drink? What were the drinks? Because I can't see the receipt. I guess if I pull up this, what is it, 20?
Yeah, 3 Belvederes at $22 each. And then there was an amenity fee, total of $3 there, so came out to 69.
Yeah, so the drinks, so the amenity fee was what, $1 per drink?
That sounds about right. Yeah.
So the drinks really are how much then? The drinks are $23 a drink. Yeah, 20, 40, 60, 369.
Yeah, 22 plus a $1 amenity fee from what I'm seeing on the receipt. So yeah.
Right. So to dispel some like strange like rumors that go around by people, now it is true there is an entrance fee for XS. It is true that you often have to wait, but setting all of that aside, the drink prices to me are extremely fair and they're normal pours. I mean, $23 for a drink in a club, and they're pouring and you can see they're pouring from the bottle. I actually ordered Belvedere, so it could have been even a little bit less money if we didn't order Belvedere. So I don't know. What do you think? Do you think $23 is pretty reasonable for a drink in a place like that?
Oh
in
yeah,
the realm
absolutely.
Of $23 drink.
Yeah, absolutely. I would have thought it would have been a lot more.
Yeah, so it's pretty easy to get up to the bar. You just have to. I mean, it's not even that hard to push your way in. It's the thing. I feel like George Costanza at the bar. One of the things that drives me crazy at bars at these clubs is that people get their drinks and then don't move out of the way.
Yeah, that's about right.
It's like get off my lawn. It's like you got to get up there and you get a drink and you order your drinks and then you should like move, right? Because it's not really like a bar where you should like be hanging out because other people behind you need to get a drink. It's one of my like little like crazy like pet peeve kind of things about the bar. Are you playing the slides now? Cool.
I'm just at slide one. I'm doing it manually.
Okay, well, why don't we queue up? Why don't we play the video for the first time, and I'll just give a little bit of background overview of what XS is. How does
All
that
right,
sound?
sounds great.
So, cue it up, Movestro.
It's up.
It is up. Look at that. That is XS. So XS, and this blew away Movestro, is a nightclub that was designed by Roger Thomas when he was the executive vice president of design for Wynn Design and Development. It opened on New Year's Eve, December 31st, 2008. We're currently in 2025. It is unprecedented for a club to be able to keep going and be so popular for so long, in my opinion. The venue spans about 40,000 square feet of combined indoor and outdoor space. Design was led by Roger Thomas. Notable elements from the initial build include more than 10,000 individual light sources, a custom sound system by sound designer John Lyons. Do you know who he is, Movestro? And the integration of indoor outdoor nightclub space surrounding the pool at Encore. The opening of XS on December 31st, 2008 is credited with galvanizing Las Vegas nightlife, marking it as an industry benchmark. The club's design concept was inspired by sexy curves of the human body. I like that. And I pointed those out to you too. The sound system design work by John Lyons and his team is highlighted for its custom engineering in a challenging space. The venue has a highly reflective surfaces. In January 2015, XS Nightclub announced the completion of approximately US $10 million in production design upgrades. The focus of design was cutting-edge video lighting and pyrotechnics. The renovation was completed just in time for New Year's Eve 2014-2015 festivities. The upgrades were described as mostly technology, improving the production elements rather than a structural rebuild. So, Movestro, what is, since you know more about like music, musicians, lighting designs, clubs, experience, and all of that, what do you feel? And this view that you're doing, how would you describe this view? This was from the outside. This was from the outside area near the pool casino area looking in. Is that correct?
Yeah, it was from the definitely the outside looking in, and still, got a view of the chain smokers up there, and it was perfect. It was like it wasn't crammed onto the floor. Was able to take it all in, be a part of it without necessarily being all up in there with the youngins who who were probably smack dab on that floor. But yeah, the design was great. I really like that it has that open outside open area where so it's sort of the best of both worlds. You're not trapped into one like one spot, really one area. Like there's room to move around. And, if the weather is lovely outside, you can enjoy that as well as taking the show. It's a fantastic club, absolutely, 100%. I see why you like it.
Now, could you say what's also interesting is that stage is in between the outside and the inside. And then, of course, you've got like VIP boxes all around that. There was also another level of like upstairs, like VIP boxes and cabanas out by the pool. There's also like you can get like VIP areas by the pool when the weather is good enough to go into the pool area. So that's cool. That's very cool. And in addition, there is gaming outside, which is quite unusual at clubs, I think, right? And we took a couple pictures and I played some craps, won a little bit of quick money on craps. I actually tweeted on this a little bit. There. So there is one craps table outside. It's mostly all blackjack and one craps table. This is a short table. I don't know how to describe it, but it's not the standard length. It isn't a super short table, but it is a short table. It is a $25 table. It is 3, 4, 5 times odds. What's interesting about this craps game is maximum bet. Maximum bet is limited to $1,000 maximum, so that'd be $1,000 on any number. They probably let you go 1,200 on the 6 and 8. That's quite unusual because the same game on the Wynn Las Vegas casino floor would be a 5,000 max bet. Even though the layout has an ATS bonus bet, all tall small, you are not allowed to play the ATS bonus bet, and you are not allowed to do hop bets. They told me the main reason remember, it is loud, and craps is a vocal game, so it's a little bit hard. And there are a couple of pictures that Movestro can slide through on these the craps table, but it's a really cool, it's a really cool venue to play. The only problem is it's very loud. So I was stick left. I bought in for a small amount. I actually was able to hit a hard 8 and parlay a hard 8 for $5. $5 hard 8 parlayed to 50, and then I hit it. That was awesome. The reason why I learned about the no hop bets is because I'm always working on the come out. And when I've parlayed a number to $50, I don't want to work on that number on the come out because it's $50 and my other numbers are $5. My other hardway bets. So what I usually do is I turn off the $50 and then I hop that number, but I couldn't hop the number. So I did a little bit of a modification, which is sort of dumb, but it actually worked out one time. Just because I don't know. I always like to work on the come out roll, and people who play craps will understand that. They either work on the come out roll or don't work. The problem is if your hardways are working on the come out, and the most likely number to be rolled on the come out, which you actually want on the come out in most instances, is a 7. Well, the problem is if a 7 is rolled on the come out, then all of your hardways come down, inclusive of that $50 hardway. So that's one of the reasons why I don't like those numbers working once I've parlayed them. But even though there were no hop bets, I was able to, what I did is I turned off my hardway, and then I put up a $10 hardway in place of the other one because there were no hop bets. So I thought it was sort of interesting. I'm guessing they don't want I don't know. I mean, I guess something about calling out bets and hop bets or other stuff in a loud environment. I think they said that was the same reason for the all tall small. Didn't really make a lot of sense to me, but it is rather loud. The dealers do have earplugs also, but you really do have to shout your bets. But they're still good Wynn dealers. So once they understood my bets and what I was doing, they knew what they were doing, and that was fine. It's just a little hard, like your usual, like press that or take that to this. You really have to say things loud. So it was cool playing craps outside, and it was also cool winning a couple $100. I was playing craps at 2:38 a.m. and I closed the table, which means the table closed sometime around after 3 a.m. at some point. And I don't know if it's because everyone left and I was just playing by myself, or if they regularly close at about that time. So that was pretty cool. And any other thoughts about this design of XS? Anything like the views of Encore and Wynn are spectacular because it's sort of like seems like it's like in between those two properties. Anything else really strike you, Movestro? Like sound system wise or anything? Or
I was really surprised when you told me that it was designed by, oh my god, I'm forgetting his name right now.
Roger Thomas.
Roger Thomas. I was not expecting a Roger Thomas designed nightclub of all things. And I was like, no, it wasn't. There's drunken video that I took of you explaining this to me and then us researching it to find out if it was true. I had to check the audio on it. If the audio is good, I'll probably put it up on the channel. But I was surprised. But it looks great. It's great. I like that one. I would definitely go there again. Definitely like that.
Yeah, and Wynn also had his hands in the club quite a bit. And after we were at the club, I took Movestro to my favorite high limit slots room, which is the high limit room at Wynn Las Vegas, and we sat in our personal chairs in the back of that room. Haven't we? We've named that our office now. So currently, if anyone needs to know, we have office hours. Our office hours are the 2 chairs in front of the garden at the back of the Wynn high limit slots room.
That's like the best place to just chill. I love it there.
Yeah, and we found a great cocktail waitress and got some Fijis. And then I fooled around unsuccessfully at that top dollar machine, which was not nice to us. What was that? That was a 9. Was it a 9 coin? No, it was 30. It was a 5. It was a 5 unit. I'm losing my mind. It seemed like it was 30 a spin, but how many units was it? It was $1 units though, right?
I believe so, yeah.
You usually remember that well. Anyway, it didn't work out the way I wanted to, but I didn't really play very much either. But I also introduced Movestro to one of my favorite drinks at Wynn Las Vegas, which is espresso over ice. And they've got the best coffee. And that espresso we're like old men. We go to the club and then afterwards we have our espresso over ice and Win High Limit.
It was very good.
We had a most lovely cocktail waitress who told us that she actually started working when she started working at Wynn. She was at XS. I think she said she was at Triste first, and then she worked at XS, and it was great working there.
Yeah. They always have good things to say, the staff there. They always have good things to say, and they've always been there for like 30 years, it feels like.
No, it really does. And then she also let us in on another thing, which I think has the rumor mills been mentioned a little bit, but times are changing with XS.
Yep.
Spill the beans, which I'm sure someone else has spilled. I would hope they have. What's happening, Movestro?
XS is going to be closing for a renovation. Or is it closing permanently? I can't see it closing permanently.
I think they're calling it like a rebrand. So I think, unfortunately, one of the things that I think is amazing is that most things at Wynn Las Vegas are owned by Wynn, except for Cipriani and La Cave. Most things are owned by Wynn, from the coffee places to the restaurants like Pisces. Everything is win. But it seems like the time has come that they're going to close XS, and it's going to open up as a new club, and the new club will be a partnership or franchise kind of arrangement, and it won't be a club that's 100% owned by Wynn. So that's sort of sad, but it's still going to be in that same great space. But I guess the times have come for them to change XS.
That's a shame. Well, hopefully they don't get rid of the outdoor area, and they keep the drink price at a minimum. They can do that.
Yeah, I think.
Keep the craps tables.
And keep the craps tables. Yeah. The only thing I'll devil's advocate, this club, other than an interim renovation in 2015 that was tech, this club has been in existence since 2008. And like in dog years for clubs, that's like 300 years.
Yeah. It lasted a lot longer than Chaos did, that's for sure.
Yeah, I guess in some ways, I hate change. I hate hearing something's going to close. That makes me really, really sad. But I also think that it probably is time for it to be a new, because the nightclub business is all about what's new, what's hot, where's the new place to go. And it's quite unusual for a place to keep on kicking since 2008, which is a testament to it being a really good club and also having really good residencies, because they've had a couple of good residency. Chainsmokers have been there a lot though, but there have been some people, like wasn't Deadmau5 residency there for a while?
Deadmau5 was there for a bit,
yeah. So anyway, that's it. But it was a great this was one of the most fun evenings that I've had with you in a while, right? We had a great time, right?
We did, absolutely.
It was a good night. We were very chill. Some of our friends are not as chill, but we're very chill. We also had a very complicated night wrapping up from the memorial, because neither Movestro or I'll take complete fault for this actually, because I usually research these things beforehand. But we have all of the AV equipment that we use for the memorial. We keep that equipment in a storage place where you can see Wynn Las Vegas from the storage place. Is that what you always say to me? You're like, our storage place, you can see Wynn Las Vegas.
I chose
And
that one because I was like, because we were like, where's it going to be? And I was like, because we were having that crazy meeting where we were just trying to tie things down. And I was like, all right, look, this one, you have a view of Wynn from there. So we can't get lost. Like we know it's around Wynn. And that's why we chose it. But to be fair, this was not your fault. I believe it was 24/7 at the time that we looked into it. And I think that it changed since then. That's my
yeah,
theory.
well, I don't know. They actually called me the next day because they called me to say, you guys were trying to get into the storage.
Yep,
Days
we
later,
sure were.
I'm like, yeah, we were. And the woman I spoke to, who was very, very nice, but was completely not helpful, uh, claims that it was never 24/7, but they are
Oh,
considering making it 24/7, and some of their other locations are 24/7, and they understand that that is an issue with the fact that the storage place in Las Vegas, of all places, closes at 9 p.m. So we had a little bit of a fiasco of what to do with all of our stuff that we had from the memorial, and then also try to get to Delilah for an 11 o'clock reservation. But it all worked out, right? I mean, that's it. I mean, it led to more chaos the next day and other things. But you know what? Movestro and I handle chaos with grace, or as I like to say, none of the chaos is caused by us drinking or partying too much, but by external factors which are
yep.
beyond our control.
There you go. It's always external factor. Never
It's
us.
just
Never us.
no, no,
We're
seriously. Like we,
never
like
us.
and we would take accountability if it was us. But usually, most of the chaos in our lives is caused by our friends or external situations. So that's just the way it is. But it worked out. We still had a wonderful evening, and everything worked itself out. And we're super excited for Zorkfest. I actually have started working on the VIP optional dinner for Zorkfest, and I think it's going to be a tribute to classics, some classic dishes, and it also is going to be a heavy tasting and focus on steaks, wet and dry aging, and things like that, as well as some other steak tableside preparations. But I'm working on it all now. But it's going to be a very classics kind of thing, like the stuff that you would have eaten in a restaurant in Las Vegas, in a restaurant in the 50s or 60s or 70s, in that stage. So I'm coming together with it. You like my idea, right?
Yeah, it sounds awesome. I'm looking forward to that.
So it's not done yet, but I know people love I know that people love that kind of like insight into this. And I think I gave you a little blurb of what I was working on yesterday. So the dinner pays tribute to the golden age of Las Vegas dining, the 50s to 70s, when tuxedoed captains rolled carts tableside, dishes were flambéed in front of Dean Martin and Sinatra, and dining was a show as much as a meal. And we're going to honor the tradition. I was thinking here, 5 iconic dishes, each with a story, born in European luxury or American ingenuity, adopted by early Vegas casinos and supper clubs, now reimagined through the craft of executive chef Christopher Yamauchi and the in-house dry aging and butchery program at Anthony's Prime Steak and Seafood at M Resort. So that's where my head is. I would love feedback on you from you if you think that sounds like a cool idea. But I guess that's my concept there. So that's it. Anything else? Anything else on your mind? I could tell you one more thing on my mind, but I want to know what's on your mind, Movestro.
What's on my mind is, despite the fact that we were drinking and having a good time and external factors, the entire evening was awesome. So no complaints here. But before we wrap things up, is there anything on your mind? Is there anything that you would like to share?
What's on my mind is when I'm at security at the airport and
Oh
it's an
boy.
empty security for TSA pre-check, and I am minding my own business very carefully, arranging my stuff the way that I'm supposed to, and then I go to take off my Doc Martens, I would appreciate if another human did not go all Karen on me, screaming at me, "You don't have to take your shoes off. It's TSA pre-check. Don't you know anything? You don't have to take your shoes off. It's TSA pre-check. You don't have to take your shoes off for TSA pre-check." Because I know I don't have to take off my shoes for TSA pre-check. But my new Doc Martens have fucking gold-colored metal plates on them. And when you don't take them off and you go through the security screener, what do you think happens, Movestro?
Beep, 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 beep.
Yes. So some shoes you do have to take off because they will beep at you. Aren't these beautiful? Anyway. Oh, I think people sometimes just need to have more grace and be a little bit more chill. And of course, this woman freaked me out while I was doing that. So then I'm rushing to get my shoes off. And I did something really horrible to my side and sprained something. And Aleve seems to be working, but it really screwed up my body because, you know, when you're trying to take one shoe off and balance yourself, you can sometimes, you know, hurt yourself. What did ChatGPT tell me I did? I don't know. It told me something. But it's feeling, I think it's feeling better, but it just was sort of annoying. But I think I strained a muscle or tendon while removing my boot because I was so freaked out by this person who was freaked out that I was taking my shoes off. Anyway, so please don't freak out at your fellow human because life should just be more chill. That's my public service announcement for the day.
And you know what? And just to be clear for anyone at home, he said this person was being a Karen, not a Karen, of the 360 Vegas podcast. And I think that if more Karens were like Karen, it would be a better place. It would be a better
It would
place.
be a better. That's right. Karen of 360 Vegas would never do that. It's just as fun. It's also so funny when it happens when it was like literally the most empty security anyway. There was like nobody in front of me. There was just one woman behind me. There was no reason to be rushing, no reason to be bothered. It just was chill. It was really chill until
External factors, man. External factors.
Exactly, external factors. So I am no longer going to ever rush to get off my boot because I would prefer not to injure my aged body while doing that, which is one of those like stupid kind of things. But anyway, that's it. Yeah, let's all chill a little bit because sometimes we've got to do things a little bit differently than what other people do. Always give grace. Always assume positive intent. Assume that I'm not a moron and I'm taking off my shoes because I know that. There's a good reason to take my shoes off.
Alrighty, and that's going to do it for this episode. Luxury travel. Alright, I'm not sure why it looks that way. Luxury travel booking, travelzork.travel. Visit travelzork.travel to plan your next amazing vacation, not just to Las Vegas, but anywhere in the world. And be sure to reach out to us on social media. You can find us easily. All social channels are at TravelZork. We'll see you next time.